Hey learners, welcome to Ahmad Coaching and I'm your teacher Dr. Anam. Today I bring another video on our everyday science series. The video is on why do our fingers wrinkle when wet. The wrinkling of fingers when submerged in water is an intricate multi-step process which is driven by skin's ability to absorb water and body's neurological response. So far what we have learned is that when cells they are placed in water, they are going to absorb the water by the process of osmosis, which makes them turgid, or they are going to lose the water, which are going to make them shrink. But the fingers, they are living cells, and not only one cell is involved but multiple cells are involved, and these cells they are in the form of skin, and skin we know have neurons, they have blood vessels. So it is a complicated process which is done in multiple steps. Let's discuss in detail that what actually is going on behind the wrinkling of fingers. Why our fingers they are wrinkled when we are swimming or when we are submerging our hand in water for a longer period of time. First step that occurs when we submerge our hand in water is water absorption and osmosis. We know what osmosis is, the movement of water molecules from high water potential to low water potential through a semi-permeable membrane. What happens when we submerge our hand in the water, that the outermost skin, which is known as stratum corneum, it absorbs some water when submerged, and this happens through osmosis. This is the internal structure of skin, and the outer layer here, this one, it is known as epidermis. The outer layer, this one, is known as stratum corneum, which is a layer of cell. The stratum corneum is the outermost layer and it is made up of dead cells. And these dead cells, they are filled with keratin, which is a protein that holds water well. So when you submerge your hand in the water, it starts to move and enter into the stratum corneum, and because the keratin is present here, so the keratin is going to keep the water here, or going to hold the water here for a longer period of time. When the water level increases inside the cell, it starts to swell, and it creates a tension that causes the underlying layer of the skin to wrinkle. So here the tightness occurs, while the underlying layer, because there is no water potential or the high water potential is not here, so what will happen, because of this tightness, this layer is going to wrinkle. It is something like, for example, you have a tape, you put the tape on a cloth and then you try to remove the tape from the cloth, and the tension built by the removing of tape will cause the underlying cloth layer to become wrinkled. Similar thing is happening here because the tension is created in the stratum corneum. So because of this tension, the underlying layer, it has become tense and the wrinkles this starts to appear, especially in the area where skin is more tightly attached to underlying tissues such as fingers and toes. So this is why when the water starts to gain entry inside the cells, the outer layer, it becomes so turgid that the underlying layer, it feels the tension, and because of this tension it starts to wrinkle, and this specifically occurs in the fingers and the toes. Now the next step is, as soon as this change happens, nervous system is activated. An autonomic response controlled by sympathetic nervous system is also responsible for the fingers wrinkling. When the fingers they are submerged in water, especially the cool water, the autonomic nerves trigger a process where blood vessels in the skin they constrict. So as soon as the water starts to gain entry, so the blood vessels which are beneath the epidermis, they are going to constrict through the process of vasoconstriction. What happens in the vasoconstriction, that the width of blood vessel, it starts to decrease, or they are going to shrink, because the volume of water passing through these vessels, it starts to decrease. This happens basically to prevent the heat loss and to preserve the minimum amount of heat which is left. But as soon as the vasoconstriction occurs, it reduces the volume of the skin's tissue, creating a wrinkle. So like I said, the underlying layers, they starts to shrink. That shrinkage is also taking place because the vasoconstriction is happening in the underlying tissues. And because of this wrinkling, the skin appears to be pulled inward, like wrinkles they appear. So what happened, that water absorption takes place as soon as the outer layer starts to become turgid, the underlying tissues, they starts to wrinkle. Nervous system is activated, which causes vasoconstriction, and because of the vasoconstriction, the underlying tissues, they starts to create wrinkles. Along with this, the process of wrinkling is also an evolutionary advantages for the humans. One of the most interesting aspects of this process is that there seems to be an evolutionary benefit to wrinkled fingers. Researchers, they believe that the wrinkles improve grip in wet conditions. This is just like the threads on the car tires to channel away the water and give the skin better contact with the slippery objects. So if the wrinkles are not there and you are trying to grip anything under water, it can be slippery and it can move away from your hand. But if the wrinkles are here, it gives this roughness to your skins that helps you to capture the slippery objects, which is a evolutionary advantage for the human. So in summary, the outer layer of skin, it absorbs water, which contributes in the tension that causes the wrinkle in the underlying tissues. This change is detected by a sympathetic nervous system. A nerve-induced constriction of blood vessels beneath the skin plays a key role in the wrinkling of the fingers. This constriction is because of the vasoconstriction. Along with this, wrinkling is also likely to enhance the grip in the wet conditions, which is an offering of an evolutionary advantage. So that was all about why do our fingers wrinkle when wet. If you have any question related to this video, or if you have any other information related to this topic, let me know in the comment section. And if there is any other daily life observation on which you want me to make a video, also let me know in the comment section. I will see you in the next video.